Creativity is about ideas. Innovation is about executing or implementing ideas. And the problem that many organisations have is that they generate numerous ideas, but they've no concept of how to effectively implement those ideas to achieve a new dimension of performance. Implementation must be fundamental to any innovation strategy, because without implementation, ideas will stay as ideas and innovation will wither and die. Thomas Edison, possibly the greatest innovator of all time, held a world record of 1,093 patents for inventions that he came up with, including the light bulb and the phonograph. But when he talked about innovation, he didn't focus on creativity or idea generation. He said innovation is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. So it's important to think about that if you're trying to innovate or encourage innovation. How does your innovation strategy deal with implementation and execution? And that's a theme that's explored throughout this series of programs on innovation. The automotive section of the training department are now using state-of-the-art equipment to make accurate diagnosis of complex vehicle systems. Good morning, folks. We're here in the motor vehicle department of Southwest College at the OMA campus, and we're talking to Declan McGirr, who's one of the lecturers here and who is the guru on all of this diagnostic equipment. So Declan's just given us a run through some of the examples of how diagnostics are used, and he's going to explain to us this piece of kit that's behind us here this morning. So Declan, can you tell us something about how and where this piece of equipment would be used?
Yeah, this piece of equipment here is very recognised and used within our industry, which is the land-based service engineering, currently known here short-term version is AMR, which we deliver here at Southwest College. We're after carrying out a dyno here on the tractor here. The dyno basically tests the horsepower of the tractor, and it can give you a number of faults if there's any fault within the engine.
Bluetooth technology is increasingly being used in the workshop, which means that students can undertake an actual analysis in a classroom situation whilst they're connected to a live running vehicle in a workshop, which could be 50 or 100 metres away. So Declan, you know, we've seen there a fairly impressive demonstration there of your diagnostics there in the car, and obviously, you know, to me that's a time saver and that's a money saver. Is that the main benefit?
Yes. Well, in relation to diagnostics, in relation to the motor vehicle industry, diagnostics is imperative in the motor industry as we speak. At the end of the day, the cars, there's more electronics in the car now, and even the agriculture sector now than ever there was before. Do you know what I mean? So there's really no way with diagnosing diagnostics without having the equipment. You must have the equipment. Yeah. Within Southwest College here, we have two pieces of equipment. We have the Taxa diagnostic equipment, and we have got the Bosch diagnostic equipment. Yeah. So, Michael, as you've seen from the demonstration there, we were able to plug in, we were able to diagnose faults within a short space of time. So instead of a technician standing and scratching his head wondering what would be wrong, the first port of call is diagnostic equipment removed from the the toolbox and plugged into the car and analyse exactly what is wrong before he takes another step forward. Yeah.
So they have the advantage of using real live data, but they're working in the confines of a classroom situation where their lecturer can hold their attention and concentrate on the finer points that need to be emphasised. And that technique could be employed in any practical situation where separation from the noise and distractions of a workshop would be beneficial. The catering section of Southwest College are using an innovative method of cooking which can be used with meats, vegetables and fruit. Two lecturers in particular, Patrick McInerney and Darren Pitts, are introducing this new approach to cooking for students at the Dungannon campus. Sous vide, as it's called, is a scientific method for cooking food while sealed in airtight plastic bags. The food is cooked in a water bath for an extended period of time at an accurately regulated temperature, much lower than the sort of temperatures normally used for cooking, typically around 55 to 60 degrees. The intention is to cook the item evenly and avoid overcooking the outer layers while still keeping the inside tender. The flavours are retained and accentuated due to the sealed bags being used in the process.
Some other examples while Michael's sampling here, we have some beef, which is also being...
that's beautiful.
Yeah. The beef, this is a little bit of topside, and basically this beef has been browned prior to going into the bag, and that's been cooked slowly, and that would need to be in the water for approximately another half an hour. You can already see that the muscle fibres are starting to break down and open up within the bag, so it's already, you can see the tenderization process happening. But one of the other things that we have in here is fruit. Fruit is particularly good because fruit is so delicate. When you go to poach it, it breaks down. So for a lot of fruits, when you go to cook them, they will naturally break down for peaches, apples, pears, rhubarb. But if you vacuum pack them, and we have vacuum packed this in a little bit of syrup, and it keeps its shape, and therefore is very good in relation to presentation or going in. So it also will give it a good texture when it's going into a dessert.
Forward-thinking restaurateurs are now adopting this methodology, and the staff at Southwest College are ensuring their students can provide the sous vide technique when they leave the college. So innovation is alive and well in the catering department.
Innovation, we're always trying to look for new techniques and new ideas, and especially for the students who are going out and trying to prepare what they actually will see.
That's fantastic. Okay, Paddy, thank you very much.
Very well.
Thank you very much. The Civil Engineering section of the Technology Department have installed a water test flume in their hydraulics lab. The equipment enables students to undertake research in the areas of pipe flow, open channel flow, wave mechanics and sediment transport. The equipment can be set up in a variety of different configurations to simulate different pipe and channel layouts, and students can calculate numerous sets of primary velocity and boundary shear stress data as part of their assessments. So teaching hydraulics is now much more fun, but it's also much more realistic. We visited Paul Duffy, a lecturer in the Technology Department, who has developed a foundation degree in contemporary design and manufacture. Paul identified that there was a need for contemporary design methods and new manufacturing technologies amongst industry in the Southwest region. Paul teaches a range of innovative manufacturing techniques using the very latest 5-axis CNC equipment, which he sourced in Italy, in the heartland of their computerized manufacturing. Good morning, folks. We're here this morning in the product design and manufacturing section of Southwest College, and I'm talking to Paul Duffy. Paul is one of the lecturers in this end, and he's the guru in terms of our CNC equipment and all of that side of things. So, Paul, we're looking at innovation. We're looking at innovation in all areas in terms of how staff use it and how students use it. And somebody was telling me that you were doing something very exciting with a mobile phone. Can you tell us something about that?
Yeah, we were able to get access to an app called Arisma, which enabled students to come down to the likes of this CNC machine and basically walk up with their mobile phones, point at certain parts of the machine, and then an explanation of what that part of the machine does comes out of their phone.
Okay.
So I would have usually walked in.
And is that something like virtual reality, or is it's not?
It's similar. It's augmented reality.
Reality.
Basically, rather than me bringing down a big group of say 14 or 18 students and trying to explain to them all, they just come down with their own phone. Once it's a smartphone, and most of them have between one or two smartphone between one or two people, and it's something different. So they're able to point at the front of the machine, and then input the PC devices and all that comes out, and an explanation of that. While other students could go across to the bed and get a description of all the different beds.
Yeah. Paul is always looking for new ideas which he can use to enthuse and inspire his students, and has run workshops for staff at the college annual curriculum conference to share his ideas and knowledge. It's also important to understand that the innovators and entrepreneurs of the future will need to become expert learners. They need to do that to ensure their ongoing sustainability. In other words, they will need to be able to work and prosper within increasingly complex and changing environments. And to do that, we need to give them new and additional skill sets. Expert learners, or T-shaped learners, don't give up when the going gets tough. Instead, they see challenge as an opportunity to think more broadly about their situation and to find novel and effective ways of resolving the situation. Peter Drucker, the famous management guru, said, "The best way to predict the future is to create it." We need to teach our students how to create the future.